And today, we're reacting to people who recorded their last moments. Oh, a little eerie. October, you know what I'm saying? Spooky season, right? Y'all with me? Hey, I love y'all, bro. Let's get this channel to 200,000. No, matter of fact, let's do a like goal. Let's get this video to, cool little 1,000 likes. Let's try that. Yeah, let's do that. I love y'all, man. Let's get to the video.
Ivan Lester McGuire was a 35-year-old skydiving expert who lived in the small town of Franklinton, North Carolina. He worked as a skydiving cameraman at the now-defunct Franklin County Sports...
A skydiving cameraman, bro. The amount of different jobs there are in this world, boy. Now, this is one I'm not taking. I'm not taking skydiving cameraman, bro. Not doing it.
It's Parachute Center, where his job was to capture photos and videos of clients who wanted their skydive jumps recorded. He'd been doing this every day for years, and April 2nd, 1988 was no different. Unfortunately, what began as just another routine workday.
Show of hands in the comments. How many of y'all skydove before?
Would end in a sudden, irreversible tragedy. The day began smoothly, with Ivan successfully completing 2 dives by late afternoon. But it was an unusually busy Saturday, and before the sun could set, he was called in for a 3rd jump. He was already exhausted by this point, but didn't want fatigue to get in the way of his job, so he agreed to the dive. The plane took off from the runway located right next to the sports center, and within just 15 minutes, it was soaring 10,500 feet in the air. After reaching this desired altitude, Ivan jumped first, making sure to keep his helmet-mounted camera pointed towards the client and their accompanying skydiving instructor. What you're looking at right now is a part of the footage that he captured. A few seconds after the jump, the other instructor opened his parachute, which was Ivan's cue to open his own. But when he reached for his ripcord, it wasn't there.
It wasn't there. Doing like certain jobs, bro, you can do tired, right? You can work at McDonald's tired. You can work at Home Depot tired. I did it a million times. I worked at Dick's Sporting Goods tired. I even worked Amazon delivery driving tired. Now I shouldn't have been, but shit, nigga, I gotta get this money. Few times I done pulled up in the Amazon truck, right? Pulled up to the stop where I need to get out, ran to the back, messing around with packages, realized I didn't put the truck in park. So the truck's just moving. Having to run up to the front, jump into the seat and park the car. I've hit a few of y'all's cars. Y'all might be wondering, bro, there's a little bit of a ding on my car, but it's nothing too crazy. But it's like, what? What happened to my vehicle? That's because I forgot to put it in park. But skydiving. Using a saw all day. Oil rigs. Those aren't jobs you could do tired. You know what I'm saying? Go home, get some rest.
Panic set in as he frantically disregarded.
I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did.
For the ripcord, hoping it was just stuck somewhere. And that's when he made the horrifying discovery. He wasn't wearing a parachute at all. And since the other instructor had already opened his parachute, he couldn't help Ivan in any way either.
He wasn't wearing a parachute at all, just jumped out. He was so used to it, just like, yo.
After realizing his situation, the only words that came out of Ivan's mouth were, "Oh my God, no." The footage then became blurry as Ivan sped up to 150 miles per hour, or over 240 kilometers per hour. He crash-landed in a wooded area near the runway and likely passed away the instant he hit the ground. When rescue workers found...
I pray that's how that went. I also pray that. I pray that he just passed before he even hit the ground. But I know he was unrecognizable, bro. That was probably, you just probably saw matter on the ground, didn't know what it was.
His body, his camera equipment, and the VHS tape he was recording on were broken into multiple pieces.
Right.
Fortunately, investigators were able to splice together enough working sections to get a good picture of what happened before he jumped. They were able to rule out both foul play and the possibility that Ivan had intentionally chosen not to wear a parachute. But if that's the case, how could a seasoned expert with over 800 successful skydives under his belt simply forget to put on his parachute?
He was tired.
Unfortunately, none of the evidence the investigators were able to gather answered this question. But given his circumstances, a few popular theories have emerged that offer possible explanations for what might have gone wrong. The first of which is that this incident was the result of nothing more than ill-fated complacency. As I mentioned earlier, Ivan had already completed 2 jumps that day and was exhausted before getting on the plane for the 3rd time. Maybe he assumed he was completely geared up, when in reality he was missing the most crucial piece of equipment. However, if he wasn't wearing anything on his shoulders, someone around him would have almost certainly noticed before the jump.
Right.
Which brings us to the second and more likely possibility. The incident happened because of his camera equipment. You see, unlike today where a tiny action cam is all it takes to film a skydive, back in the 1980s, recording that footage required bulky camera gear that had to be worn in a backpack. There's a chance Ivan and the others around him mistook this camera bag for a parachute and didn't realize the truth until it was too late. That said, while Ivan wasn't fortunate enough to survive, the footage of his accident stands as a sobering reminder for skydivers to always double, even triple check their gear.
I'm not really a cupcake.
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, y'all. I really promise y'all I thought this was on the premium. I am so sorry. I'm sorry that there's a talking cupcake on our screen right now and we should be watching
Ivan Lester McGuire.
What happened to Ivan Lester McGuire? I'm so sorry.
On the accident stands as a sobering reminder for skydivers to On the 15th of January 2023, Yeti Airlines Flight 691 took off from Kathmandu's Triphuvan International Airport at around 10:30 a.m. It was a domestic flight headed for the Pokhara International Airport, located roughly 124 miles or 200 kilometers west of the takeoff location. Things started off just as everyone hoped, with the plane taking off, climbing, cruising, and even descending without any issues. And as it was about to land at the Pokhara airport, one of the passengers started live streaming on Facebook from within the cabin. This passenger was a 25-year-old Indian man named Sanu Jaiswal.
Hell, they had to say was. But also, yeah, I guess, I mean, hey, niggas stream anything these days. Like I said, he was streaming on Facebook Live that he was landing in his location.
He was an adventurous young man who loved nothing more than exploring new places with his friends and experiencing their beauty firsthand. This time he had traveled to Nepal as a tourist with 3 of his close friends. And after enjoying Kathmandu to its fullest, the 4 of them were headed to Pokhara to experience paragliding. He was excited for the upcoming adventure and wanted to share this moment with his entire social circle, which is why he started streaming. What none of his viewers knew, however, was that this was going to be the last time they would see Sanu alive. Because just a minute after he started streaming, the situation took a terrifying turn as the camera became disoriented and the laughter turned to screaming. What followed was an extremely loud explosion.
Hey, before we get back into the video, I got a way you can make some extra bread. I know you bored at home right now, bro. And all you have to do is play games and get paid for it. If you hit the link in my description or scan the QR code on the screen right now, you can sign up to freecash.com and start getting paid right now. And they make it extremely simple. First, just create an account like any other site and email and password. And once you get in, you'll see a wall of games and offers immediately. Pick a game that you actually like, play through the levels, and the cash will land straight into your free cash account. It's basically turning your downtime into a hustle without you even thinking about it. People pulling $10 to $20 a day, and with some effort, you can go way higher than that. You can spend a couple bucks in game to hit levels faster that'll ultimately give you bigger offers and payouts. That's the method on how some users end up making hundreds, even 500 or more on certain offers. But you don't have to spend any money. You can literally stick to the free levels and still cash out. The whole point is when you're taking a break from those Astral Dior videos, doom scrolling, looking at women, you could be playing and earning at the same time. Get to your money, bro. And once you run it up and want to cash out, you've got options of PayPal or gift cards. So if you want to get to that extra cheese, hit the link in the description or scan the code on the screen, sign up for free, and start playing for cash on your spare time. And when you use my link or QR code, you get $5 bonus to get you started, bro. Go ahead, get to it. Let's do it.
Somehow the phone stayed intact and continued streaming everything to
Oh my
Sanu's friends
God!
and family.
Oh!
But all they could see at this point was nothing short.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Bro, on the phone, streaming, watching your family. Oh, he's landing in the city, and now it's just engulfed in flames. Bro, golly. Goodness gracious, what could have happened?
Of horrific, with the entire camera feed getting covered in raging flames, and worst of all, the screaming suddenly coming to a halt.
Oh man.
Something had gone horribly wrong, and
Obviously.
it wasn't long before people found out exactly what. Flight 691 had somehow crashed into the riverbank a few hundred meters away from the airport. The crash also caused the remaining fuel to ignite. So by the time the rescue workers arrived on the scene,
It was just ashes.
there was nothing left. The crash and the resulting fire had taken the lives of the 4 crew members and the 68 passengers.
Nobody made it. Wow. And they look relatively low to the ground. I mean, I guess that don't matter when you're in a plane going how many hundreds of miles an hour, going straight into a riverbank. Yeah, I guess it probably doesn't matter.
Sanu was among these casualties as he unknowingly recorded his...
What a horrible sight if you watching that. Like, you watching your guy, bro. He on look, let's go. We finna go pick him up from the airport. Imagine you waiting to pick him up. Goodness gracious.
own final moments with no idea of the tragedy that was about to unfold. The only silver lining in this accident was that the plane barely missed the populated area right next to the river, which would have likely doubled, if not tripled, the losses. As for how things went so horribly wrong when the rest of the flight had been relatively smooth, a months-long investigation concluded that it was mostly due to human error. You see, the flight was originally supposed to land on runway 30, but for some unknown reason the pilot requested to land on the indirect runway 12. Now, the co-pilot, Anju Kariwada, was under training at the time,
Oh,
so
man.
it's possible the pilot requested the alternative route to teach her how to land at an awkward angle.
Damn. Bro, trying to teach shit? No, and then fucking what? Slipped? How does that work? Bro, trying to teach somebody something and it fuck up and take both of all our lives. Not even both. All 64 of us. You hold
Unfortunately,
us.
while the plane was turning, she misinterpreted a command and accidentally switched both engine propellers to the feathered position.
Oh, she. See, again, still, same thing stands, though. She misheard. You can't mishear shit.
This resulted in the engine stalling, the plane losing control, turning
Wow.
over and crashing into the
Oh, my God.
riverbank. Put simply, a single unfortunate mistake cost the lives of dozens of people.
Oh,
and
my
uprooted
God.
the lives of
That shit just fell to the ground.
hundreds of family members.
Don't try to teach niggas shit.
On June 16, 2013, 29-year-old Yevgeny Titov noticed a demolition happening near his work in Lipetsk, Russia.
I'm taking a guess. This big ass wall finna fall on this nigga. I'm just taking that big guess. This just looks like, this don't look right to me.
He was on his lunch break and had plenty of time to admire the work being done. So he took out his phone and started recording the demolition. Unfortunately, watching this demolition was about to become the worst decision of his life. Now, I should mention that Yevgeny was being as cautious as he could. He was standing at least twice as far from the building being destroyed as the 2 men in front of him. Yevgeny was also standing off to the side, since given the demolition method,
I'm saying, this guy in the white beater is way too close, bro. Brick and some more shit falling all over the place. You definitely should be further
debris
back.
looked like it was going to fall towards the excavator. Tragically, that is not what happened. As the excavator pulled the wall beyond its tipping point, it didn't detach cleanly and rotated mid-air, sending
Oh! Dead straight at this nigga. No, that's not funny.
pulled
That
the wall
jump
beyond
felt-
its tipping point. It didn't detach cleanly and rotated,
Oh, God. Oh, my goodness.
sending massive bricks and other debris hurling toward Yevgeny. And while the men standing nearby were nearly missed, Yevgeny wasn't so lucky. He was thrown to the ground by flying debris, with the impact leaving him critically wounded while others rushed over to help. Paramedics were called and rushed him to the hospital. Sadly, it was too late. Yevgeny had suffered multiple complex fractures, damaged organs, and
Damn,
serious brain...
Yevgeny. Damn, Yevgeny. That big ass brick came through. That's unfortunate. Bro, yeah, this OSHA would have been pissed. This don't even make sense. Why would you even want to be, why are we recording this? Brick falling on the ground. No, bro, I need to get out of the line of fire, bro.
were nearly missed. Yevgeny wasn't critical. Damaged or leaving his wife and 3-year-old daughter behind. All
Damn.
because he wanted to watch a
Watch some bricks fall. Yeah, Yevgeny, see? Oh my God.
building being demolished from what he believed was a safe distance. The company in charge of the demolition was charged with criminal negligence for failing to establish
See?
an effective perimeter around the worksite, with the video Yevgeny captured serving as a crucial piece of evidence.
That junk whacked them. Yo. Oh, okay, what up? Me too. No, no. It's not that well, one, no, I don't like Trippie Redd, but I just don't think he did nearly enough. Like, I would have said Juice WRLD was a legend before him. I don't even think Juice WRLD was a legend, but I would say he's a lot of people like him, but he's not no legend. No, hell no, hell no, hell no, hell no. Okay. I'll watch it, but Trippie Redd ain't no damn legend. That's like saying, but we look at 50 Cent is a legend, right? So you're putting like something like Trippie Redd in the same. The Migos a legend. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do we do? Trippie Redd?
Bro, you gotta think. He's from a certain era of niggas, like, and even like the niggas that are left. Cause who was in Trippie Redd shit? Lil Pump.
What? Wait, hold on. Think about the niggas that actually are close to legend and not even not. Yachty, Kodak Black, 21 Savage. Think about the 2016 joint. Those is legends. Like, if we gonna say they're legends. But
I think and we can kind of conclude here, but I think I don't think Lil Yachty and Uzi and Kodak are from the same umbrella as Trippie, because Trippie Redd like X, more like Juice WRLD, more like
that was all the same time.
Let me look.
That's all the same time.
I don't think they were the same like freshman class though.
That's all the same time. All the same time.
I don't know. Your Sin said he's Trippie Redd a legend in this
Fuck
video.
no.
And I'm not gonna lie, like my initial response was like, Trippie Redd's not a legend, but yeah, he started talking, he started naming, like, bro, got real music in the game though.
Alright, well, let me get back to my video.
Alright, bro.
Alright.
However, no legal penalty could rewind time or erase the damage that had already been done. 23-year-old Helen Wendy Nyabuto moved from Kenya to Canada on a 10-year study visa when she was just 20 years old. By 2022, she was close to completing her education while also working as a nurse and a personal support worker in the Toronto area. Things were going well for Helen, but things took a tragic turn in August of 2022 when a single accident wiped out everything she had worked so hard to build. She was hired as a personal support worker by someone living in the small town of Chatsworth, Ontario. She decided to rent a room in the only motel in Chatsworth to accommodate this job, and started living there. The place wasn't too shabby, but the thing that caught Helen's eye was the motel's outdoor swimming pool. So on August 8th, she found enough free time to go for a swim, while also I
don't swim in hotel, motel pools. I already don't really like being in swimming pools in general, community pools. I feel like they're very nasty. A hotel, motel, swimming pool, I'm not getting in there. I feel like if I get in there, and by when I'm getting out, whatever part of my body that was in the water is going to come out, and it's just going to be my skeleton left.
Streaming her experience on Facebook. She had the pool all to herself, and it was every bit as peaceful and relaxing as she'd hoped. However, just as she was starting to enjoy swimming, disaster struck. About 10 minutes after getting into the pool, she decided to swim toward the deep end. Unfortunately, just seconds after entering the deep end, she lost control and began drowning. She desperately called for help with the little air she had left. Tragically,
lost control.
Yet there was no one to hear her. After struggling in the water for nearly a minute, Helen lost the fight and passed away just
what do you mean lost control? How does that work?
The range of her phone's camera, which continued streaming everything live on Facebook.
Oh God.
Her last words stating, "Let me enjoy some water," took on a much darker meaning as her live viewers waited for someone to notice Helen. However, she remained unnoticed for nearly 3 hours until two other guests finally arrived at the pool and made the heartbreaking discovery while the live stream was still going. But these guests couldn't even believe what they were looking at first.
Why is there just a dead person in the water? I know that scared the. I don't know what I got it. I think it's a poodle or something. That looks so realistic. I know. I got in and I was like,
wow.
Like, is it somebody? Walk over there. Just walk over there. Dead.
Wow.
Like, what if it's actually somebody dead? Because I'm not even trolling. That looks way too real.
They eventually realized the truth
Wow.
and immediately contacted
Wow.
the motel management.
That's insanity.
By the time someone checked on Helen, she was long gone. The live stream helped prove that this was nothing more than a terrible accident, though that
Someone said rip. Bro, the internet is crazy,
did
bro.
little to soften the blow for her family. As her father stated, "I watched the video, I cried, it's terrible." What made the tragedy even more devastating was that Helen was the sole breadwinner for her family. Without her, they couldn't even afford to bring her body home to Kenya.
Oh my god.
Fortunately, when the story made headlines, the internet came together and raised over 66,000 Canadian dollars to cover her funeral expenses and help her family in their time of need, giving a somewhat bright ending amongst an absolutely tragic situation.
Tragic, horrible. Like, damn. Lost control is
Armin
crazy.
Schmier
Because
was
she just was swimming regular and then it was over with.
The 28-year-old Italian man with a love for extreme sports. He originally started with skydiving and performed countless jumps across Europe. But
the
as time went
skydiving
on, he
shit
started
again.
getting bored of skydiving and wanted to try something even more extreme. So, sometime in 2015, he switched from
Paragliding.
skydiving to wingsuit base jumping.
Oh.
Learning a brand new sport, especially one as dangerous as wingsuit base jumping,
This don't even look like you supposed to be doing this, bro. This look like you hit a wall and just never looked the same. Like, again, look like a bug hit a windshield. This is what that reminds me of.
was quite risky. But Armin managed to pull through and became quite proficient at it in just 1 year. What he didn't know, however, was that his luck was about to run out. On the 26th of August 2016, Armin climbed to the summit of Mount Kangersteg in the Swiss Alps. On this day, he wanted to livestream his adventure, which started with him putting on the equipment and getting ready for the jump. But since he didn't have any streaming-capable action camera or a secure mount for his phone, he came up with an alternative solution, where once he was fully geared up, he told his viewers, "Today you fly with me," and put the phone in his pocket. All his viewers could see now was the darkness inside of his pocket, with some light bleeding through the fabric.
How eerie is that, right?
But the audio was still clear enough to understand what was going on, like Armin counting down and making the jump.
2, 1.
Things seemed to be going as expected. However, about 20 seconds after he made the jump, his phone
20
captured the
seconds.
sounds of Armin screaming, crashing into the mountainside, and rapidly rolling down the steep terrain.
Oh my god, it's not like he's getting jumped. Nigga fell on a wind chime?
The fall ended with Armin landing in the middle of a cow pasture, now being completely silent. His viewers quickly contacted the authorities, who spent the next few hours looking for him. Unfortunately, by the time they found him, it was already too late. Armin had succumbed to his injuries and passed away. And while the Swiss authorities never released the true cause of his death, whether it was equipment failure or pilot error, at the very least, he died doing what he loved.
Get the fuck out of here. This nigga just hit a wall and
Tavi
died in
Pusti-
the fucking ground. I'm sure he would have loved to pass doing something else. Sleep.
was a 29-year-old pop singer in Romania. He was described as one of Romania's rising music stars and was building a bigger following with each passing year. Unfortunately, before he had the chance to make it big, his career was abruptly cut short on August 15, 2020. He was riding through the city of Ploiesti in a car with his wife behind the wheel. And as they were making their way through the city, Tavi decided to livestream his travel from his phone. This stream was just him smoking, listening to music, smiling, and having plain fun.
Feeling good.
Then, a few minutes into the stream, his wife stopped the car at a crossing of sorts. She looked both ways before driving forward, only for the stream to suddenly cut off, with Tavi screaming in horror being the last thing viewers
Oh my
witnessed.
god, please.
As it turned out, the two were crossing a railway line, and while his wife did look both ways, she somehow missed the train barreling towards them.
She missed the train. Had my nigga jump up out the seat yelling, "Hey, hey!" My nigga jumped up out his seat yelling, "Hey, hey," bro. And that was those last two words. Nigga, he jumped up out his seat yelling, "Hey, hey." And before he knew it, it was over.
By the time they noticed, it was already too late.
They done put the wig off the car, took the whole top off.
Their car was wrecked completely, resulting in Tavy tragically losing his life. What's crazy is that just a month before this crash, Tavy made a Facebook post stating, "One day, the wrong train will take you to the right destination." His wife miraculously survived, but sustained several critical injuries. She was rushed to the hospital and put on life support, though I wasn't able to find any reports on what happened to her after that. The now tragic final memory Tavy left to his fans was him simply having fun and dancing to music.
It was him yelling, "Hey, hey, hey, hey!" That's something that I would yell. "Oh, hey!" It's over. That being said, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Like the video, sub up, comment, visit the channel. I'll lay out, bro. I appreciate y'all. Great for y'all. We're gone, man. Eddie Lado.